Vinita ma'am, welcome to the 100th episode of the iRonik show.
Shri Matre Namaha Ronik.
Why Tantra is the pathless path.
Tantra has been so misunderstood, so maligned as a subject that we have to clarify.
Any Tantra path that you choose, ultimately you will have to take the path of Shakti.
I would say that take the path of Shiva and Shakti both. Because gods are not here to give you punishment. Just like karma is not here to punish you, karma is only here to teach you the lessons that you learn. What are the tools of Tantra? We have the yantras, which are the sacred geometry. We have the mantras, which are the sacred phonemes, the sounds. Spirituality does not hold any answers. It will help you in your path, and when you have to give it up, that will come at a separate time.
What exactly is Sankalpa? How does one take Sankalpa? Vinita ma'am, welcome to the 100th episode of the iRonik show.
Shri Matre Namaha Ronik.
Shri Matre Nama.
Really very, very happy for you, and may you have many more shows, and hearty congratulations on the 100th
Thank you so much, ma'am.
episode.
Thank you so much.
Well done.
Thank you so much. I couldn't have found a better guest for the 100th episode. We have already done 3 podcasts with you. So this is the 4th one with you, and I'm really happy that you agreed to be our guest on the 100th episode. And when I was thinking of what should we do on the 100th, I thought spirituality is the way to go. So I want all the blessings of the divine feminine. I want all the blessings of the Ma, Shiva, and everyone, all the higher powers to propel me for the journey that we have started, journey that iRonik show had started. I want their blessings to help me propel, help me share the information, share the knowledge through this platform that I've been blessed with. So thank you so much for agreeing to do this. Where do we begin? Actually, I'm a little overwhelmed because I never thought when I started, so just to give you a quick background, this whole iRonik show started from my storeroom, and that was the first episode, right? And today I never thought that 100th episode would be a possibility. But yes, when I cannot take all the credit because there is always a power, there is always blessing of that higher being that propels you, that takes you far than you have thought.
And may the magic continue, and may you be blessed, and may all our viewers be blessed with an abundance of all things enriching.
So how I want to do it today, I mean, I also would love your suggestion that you guide me on my spiritual journey, and let that be the theme of the podcast. How should I take my spiritual journey ahead? That I started this spiritual journey in 2023. A lot of changes have happened in my life. I think attribute, I give all those, I mean, I'm thankful for those changes, and those changes have happened because I started going into the spiritual path. Let's begin with that thought. So you have seen me, this is the 4th episode that we're doing. You have seen me, I think we did our first episode when we were almost 55th episode we were doing. So almost, I think, what, 6, 7, 8 months, more than that, you have seen me. We have been in connect. What is the difference that you have seen?
Well, for sure, even just by your physical appearance, I noticed that you appear to be much more calm, much more focused than when I first saw you. That's the first thing that strikes me. And I think all your thoughts are aligning towards where you want to go. There's a lot more clarity in how you're approaching your life. And perhaps it could be attributed to the spiritual path, or perhaps it's just evolution doing its thing. But I would like to believe that it's the spiritual aspect which is helping you. Because this is the progress that I see with many of the people that I guide as well. That they begin not knowing where they want to go, but a couple of sessions into guidance, they suddenly have an awakening that, okay, here's my reason, here's my purpose, here's my meaning, this is why I came into this path. And the moment that clarity comes, then everything starts to fall into place. It's almost like they have the anugraha of Devi to move on ahead on the path. I see that with you.
I would 100% agree with you. I think people around me, and I think more than people, you notice the changes in you, right?
True.
Absolutely. I have become very, very calm. And with that, I have also become a lot detached. When I say detached, I don't mean it in any negative connotation, but in a very positive manner. Things, I mean, really unrelated things that don't even matter to me. Earlier, I used to get bothered by them, and that would hamper me professionally, personally. That would hamper my physical health, my mental health. But over the last 1 year or so, I have been able to detach from all those things, get out of all those things. When I see that this is not good for my mental health, let's get out of it.
And how has it been in terms of manifestation? Do you see more of your desires coming true as well? Because that's also another very common feature, that what you wish is what the universe gives you once you get on the path of spirituality in a devoted and disciplined manner. This is not for everyone, but if
Right.
someone does it with Shraddha and Bhakti and Bhava, very quickly they realize that they're manifesting what they desired all along. So, is that also something that you have experienced?
I will give you a long answer to that. Whenever we used to go to mandir, right, or whenever we used to pray, people would ask me, my wife or anyone, कि you भगवान से ये मांग लो, right? Uh, I was never of that opinion. First of all, I never liked to going to mandir, right? I never liked doing any sort of practices or anything like that. That change has come to me gradually and eventually over the last couple of years. And first thing, that I'd never liked asking for anything from any deity. It was more like I will go, I will pray, I will come, right? Uh, then what has happened now? Even now, I don't ask for it. It's more like I have some set my mind on something. I am giving my 100%, 200% towards that. I would just say that you have shown me the path. I am doing my bit, and I leave it to you. If you deem fit, see that it's not for me. In the long run, I know that you will not give it to me. That's the kind of conversation that I have during my meditation sessions, or during whenever I pray. Prayers have got really deep. Meditation has got deep. Talking about manifestation, I don't really like talking about it, because you have also said this to me a couple of times. Don't talk too much about your spiritual practices.
Right.
Somewhere there is something, there is a negative energy which will try and latch onto it. So I don't really speak about it, but yes, I have seen the magic happen. How things have happened, uh, be it financially, be it anything else. I have things take a turn in a magical way. Right. So recently, I was giving a presentation. I was asked to give a presentation in my office. Right. So how podcasting has changed me as a person, in professionally, personally. So one of the major points that I focused on, that believe in your prayers, believe in that higher energy with a very positive and innocent heart and mind, and you will see the magic happen. The problem with us is that we want very quick fixes. We want quick results. Those things never happen.
True.
Right. You have to give it all. You have to believe in it. You will have to have faith in it. And
Yes.
you will see things happen.
Also, I think, Ronikji, one of the most common questions that we have, particularly with Sanatana, is whether it's acceptable to ask for material things. So, one thing is, before any sadhana, we do a Sankalpa. Now, what is a Sankalpa? It is about setting an intention, like you rightly said. Now, an intention is different from a goal, because a goal is always outcome oriented. An intention is more about the process. It's like how Krishna said to Arjuna, Karmanne vadikaraste mapaleshu kadachana, which means that you do your work and don't bother about the results. What fruits have to come, they will come from whatever karma you have accrued, from your adrishta phala. So the work that you have to do is essentially to just stay on the path, which brings me to, is it wrong to have a material desire? It is absolutely not wrong. If you look at all the Tantra texts, it says if a person makes money in a dharmic fashion, he is beneficial to all of society. So it's not wrong to want something material. For everyone who asks this question, it's okay, whatever your intention is, don't hanker after it, don't be desperate for it. But yes, if you want that bigger house, you want that fancier car, there's nothing wrong with seeking it with intention, with a higher purpose in mind. Because once that desire gets fulfilled, what happens is one more thing is ticked off your box and you can focus more on spirituality. That's the whole idea. So your intentions when you do a sankalpa can be material, it could be aspirational, it could be that you want to move up the ladder, it could be that you want to be the CEO. It's perfectly acceptable. Or it could just be something in the spiritual realm where you just say, I want moksha, or I want to further elevate my status in the spiritual world, not in the world of brick and mortar. It's not about fame, it's not about money, it's not about making a name for yourself, how many followers you have. It's not that. So it could just be purely spiritual to say, I want mukti from this samsara. I don't want this endless cycle of birth and death. So it could be anything in between. So I think the next time you have to change that narrative a little bit when you set your sankalpa, that it can be anything and everything that you desire. Because if we look at it from the perspective of the fact that we are not the thinker of our thought, we are merely the awareness behind that thought, then even the desire which is coming to you is technically not yours.
Right.
That the universal consciousness is putting it there so that you align with it. So it was there all along for you to go and own it. It's just that we limit ourselves. We say, no, this is not for me. I'm not good enough. This was perhaps for someone better than me. The universe never puts all these blocks in our path. It's only our own belief systems, our own blocks that brings about this.
There's one more thing that I would really, I have seen it happen with me very frequently. And over the last 4 or 5 months, I have seen it. I mean, the intensity and the frequency of it has. I see a lot of signs. It could be nothing for someone, right? But someone who is a believer, they will pick it up as signs. I don't know. It was a Saturday, and I have been planning to go to Hanuman Mandir for quite some time, but somehow I was not able to go. That Saturday, I had planned that I will be going, but we had some guests, and Saturday morning we just left for somewhere, to go out of the city. And while returning back, I was just scrolling through my Instagram or something. There is a post that comes in. It says that तू आया नहीं मेरे द्वार पे.
Wow.
So things like that.
Yes.
Things like that has started happening.
For those who want to believe the magic, it's definitely there. For those who think it doesn't exist, they will never know of it.
Absolutely. My question to you is, does it really happen this way? Is this your DT, your higher energy, the energy that is guiding you?
Let me answer this question in a very scientific manner. In the brain, there is a system called RAS, Reticular Activating System. Okay. So this is what filters all the sensory stuff that we take in. Everything. Because there are 10 million things happening at the same time, and the brain cannot register all of it. So there's probably only 5 or 10% of it that the brain actually registers. Now, what happens is, for example, if I were to say that today you will see a red car, there is a signal that goes to your reticular activating system, which filters out everything else and which will make you see the red car. You try this out. It's exactly the same thing with anything. So when you saw that post saying that you didn't come to the temple, It's because your brain was looking out for it. And this is exactly how manifestations happen. Because if you consider yourself lucky, for instance, then you're picking up all the cues that are required for you to win at something, to be lucky at something. But if your belief is that you are unlucky or that today I'm going to have a bad day, then your brain, that reticular activating system, is priming for that. It's saying, okay, so Ronik is saying I'm going to have a bad day, so let me do that for him. And it ends up one mess after another. That is why it is so necessary to utilize that time in the morning, the first couple of minutes, not to just blindly reach out for your phone and to start scrolling, but to use it consciously, because your brain is in that theta mode at that point of time, when it's just coming out of sleep into actual consciousness, right? So the subconscious and the conscious mind at that time are talking to each other. So if you tell the subconscious mind that I'm going to have the most beautiful, peaceful, fruitful, magical day, then the brain will make sure that it makes that happen for you. So it's absolutely valid even from a scientific perspective, leave alone merely a spiritual perspective. These things do happen.
Wow.
And you can even take it one step further. If you go into quantum physics, which is where, it's cutting edge science today, they're saying that all of these things, these serendipities, these synchronicities can happen because everything depends on the observer. It's like everything in nature depends on what the observer is bringing to the table. So a particle can be either a particle or a wave until the observer is observing, if you know what I mean, right? So if there is an electron or a photon or however you want to describe it, it does not take on the qualities until the observer determines it. This is what is called the observer effect. And this is what the whole of our Vedic knowledge, Tantric knowledge, all of this is pointing towards when we say the awareness behind the thought, awareness behind, that is the Atman, right? That is what we've been talking about. Brahman, Atman, you give it whatever name, it's the awareness. So all of this goes to show that we are the co-creators, not just of our destiny, but of the everyday life that we are leading. Because destiny is bigger picture, but everyday life is what we are creating on the go.
I will again come back to what I have been feeling, and I would really request if you can guide me. But there is one thing that I really wanted to talk to you about. So you are a Tantra practitioner, you are a Shri Vidya practitioner,
Yes.
and you are also coming up with a book, Tantra, the Pathless Path.
Yes, it has just been released on the 7th of July. So 7/7. It was my 7th book. Yes.
Okay.
It also happened by chance. I had nothing to do with it. My publisher decided that your 7th book will work wonders on the 7th of July, 25, which also adds up to a 7. So I said, wonderful. If that's your belief, then so be it.
I don't know if you're a cricket fan or not. So anything that adds up to 7, we say that thala for a reason. So MS Dhoni's number is 7.
I see. Okay.
So here we call it everything that adds up to 7, we say thala for a reason.
Wow.
So, okay. So when you say Tantra, the pathless path, right? So we understand why, but I would really love you to simplify for us why Tantra is the pathless path.
See, first of all, Tantra has been so misunderstood, so maligned as a subject that we have to clarify that when we talk of Tantra in the Indian subcontinent, from our knowledge of the Shastras, we are only referring to classical Tantra. When the West talks about Tantra, they are talking about Neo-Tantra, which has absolutely no connection with what our texts tell us.
What is Neo-Tantra?
Neo-Tantra, where they talk about sacred sexuality, where they talk about awakening your Kundalini for just physical pleasure and so on and so forth. It has nothing to do with spiritual evolution, where they talk about 7 days of Tantra awakening and Kundalini awakening and all of that. That is Neo Tantra. We have to be very clear that that is not the Tantra that we are referring to when we speak about it from the Sanatana concept. In Sanatana, Tantra means it is the weaving which allows us to expand our consciousness. And see, in the Vedic system, there was really not that much of an opportunity for an individual to do the work, which is where Tantra came in. And they said that an individual, you and I, the common man, can do the work to bring about spiritual awareness. And those we call as the tantric toolkit. So in my book, the second section of the book is called the tantric toolkit. What are the tools of Tantra? So there we have the yantras, which are the sacred geometry. We have the mantras, which are the sacred phonemes, the sounds. Then you've got mudras, which are the gestures, which we see throughout. We see it in dance, we see it even gods. We see Abhaya Mudra, Varada Mudra, all of that, because all our nerve endings are here. Also, all the meridians are here. So this is, and most important is all our karma is done mainly through our hands. Of course, a lot of karma is also done through the talking that we do, through our mouths. But that apart, it's mainly through our hands, the work that we do, everything, the writing, whatever it is, it's through our hands. So that's why the mudras are so important. You have yantra, mantra, mudra, and then underlying all of this is the Shakti of Kundalini. That is the three important nadis of Ida, Pingala, and Sushumna, which in turn leads to knowledge of the chakras and the evolution thereafter or thereof, right? So this, in effect, is what classical Tantra deals with. So whether you're reading the Rudrayamala Tantra or the Tantra Raja Tantra or any of our tantric texts, this is the core material. Apart from the fact that there are also deities that we talk about. So there's Shiva, of course, then there's Shakti, and
Right.
Shakti is worshipped in various ways. So Kali is main, but she manifests in various forms, whether it's the Dashamahavidyas, the Saptamatrikas, everything, whichever way you look, there is a different manifestation of Ma Kali, of Shakti herself. So this is what Tantra is all about. So when I say the pathless path, it's because it is up to each one of us to make our own path. There is no path which is drawn out for us. As we go along, the path will show itself. So that is why it's the pathless path. And in a way, the journey is the destination itself, in a way. Right? We are not going towards any one particular destination. The entire journey is a destination. So we enjoy the process. Again, we were talking about intention versus goal. This is the same thing at work. We don't go with a goal that I want moksha in Shri Vidya. We say there is bhoga and there is moksha. We enjoy bhoga while it's here. And then we will come to moksha when it's time for that. So the whole idea is that we go on the path untrod by anyone else. We make our own path as we go towards Ma. And for each individual, it's different. It could be a different combination of yantra, mantra, mudra, kundalini. For some people, in the first 6 months, they have an awakening. For some, after 5 years, the awakening still does not happen. So if it was one linear path, we would know that everyone will reach at a certain point. But that's not the case because there's so much history behind it. Our karma, what is the prarabdha, what is our sanchita karma, all of those things matter. And who is it that actually comes to practice Shri Vidya? That's the most core question. It is said in all our Tantra texts that to practice any form of Tantra, even just to be aware of a sacred geometric form, you need to have some amount of good karma from your past to be able to identify it. How is it that for 50 years of my life, I didn't know the Sri Yantra? I had seen it. I was not aware that it was so sacred. But at that time, because my Adrishta Phala sanctioned that I could know the meaning of it, I understood it and I started to study it and I started to write about it. So there is a large element of the unknown before we start our sadhana. So that's why again and again it is repeated in the tantric scriptures that you need a guru to guide you. See, you can get on the path. For instance, for me, I didn't have a guru in that sense of the word. My learning was mainly on my own. I had different people guiding me, but I didn't have one single guru. I still don't have. I feel now that Ma Lalita herself is my guru. So tomorrow, being Guru Purnima, who is my Parama Guru? It is Ma Lalita herself, because I don't have a guru in a human form. Yes, one does need a guru to give you initiation, to give you diksha into the para mantras, because those mantras are not known, they're not written anywhere, because ours is an oral tradition. So to that extent, let's get the guru in. But otherwise, the study has to be your own. The recognition, the experience has to be your own. And I think you will resonate with this when I say this. In the spiritual path, there's very little that you can learn from other people's experiences. It's only your own experience that teaches you. Like there are many of my students who say, when in a group, some people are saying, I saw Ma and I felt her presence. Some say, I never felt it. Is there something inherently incomplete in me? To which I have no answer, because each one's experience is their own. And that's how they evolve spiritually. So for one person, it might feel like Mahavara, he's sitting on my bed when I'm chanting. For another person, it may just not be the feeling of that energy, but they see other things happening. So how it manifests in each sadhaka's life is different.
I can completely understand that. I was speaking to one of the tantra practitioners. He mentioned one of the very interesting things to me, that any tantra path that you choose, because other than Shri Vidya and Ma Kali sadhana, whether it is Bhairav sadhana, but whether it is Ramji's tantric puja, whether it is Ganesha's tantric, any path you choose, ultimately you will have to take the path of Shakti.
I would say take the path of Shiva and Shakti both. You can't really leave out Shiva. Like, I'll give you an example. In Shri Vidya, many people also have this question that what is the progression, what is the structure of Shri Vidya sadhana? You start with something called the Bala Tripura Sundari mantra, which is very simple, it's basic, just 3 bijas. Then after you finish one mandala of that, you move on to the Mahaganapati mantra. There, the Mahaganapati mantra, in a way, even though we are doing it with Shakti in mind, indirectly it is a worship of Shiva also, because who is a Gana? Any worshipper of Shiva is called Gana. So Ganapati means the leader of the worshippers of Shiva. So I would say that in Tantra, it could either be Shiva or Shakti, or there is also one very vast component of Tantra which is untouched, unknown, which is Vaishnava Tantra, which is only about Vishnu, but it has not been touched because Vishnu took the bhakti path.
Yeah.
We all know ISKCON and we know how it's all about bhakti. So the Tantra of Vishnu lies there to be explored at another point of time. But it is safe to say that it's both Shiva and Shakti that we need to fully understand and explore on the path of Tantra.
This is a very common narrative that you have the path of the Shiva. I mean, let's say that all the male deities that you take the path of. Then there is a Shakti path of it. So we call her Ma, right? But then if there is something, you don't follow the discipline, uh, there is some lag in the sadhana or something, the Ma will, make you understand with the effect, there will be punishment as well, right? If there is a lag, that won't go unnoticed, right? We somehow, it happens that when we call her Ma, we tend to compare with the human form of mother that we have, the parents, right?
We tend to
We
anthropomorphize our gods.
Right,
That's
right.
something we shouldn't do, because gods are not here to give you punishment. Just like
Hmm.
karma is not here to punish you, karma is only here to teach you the lessons that you learn. So it's not that you were suffering from pain in one life. So that same person you will give the same amount of pain to in the next life. It's not about
Right.
that. A deeper understanding of karma is required to know that karma is there only to teach you the lessons that you need to learn in order to progress on the path. So, in the same way, whether
Hmm.
it's Shiva or Shakti or anything in Tantra, there is no malevolent deity sitting there saying, I'm going to punish you.
Hmm.
In effect, you are punishing yourself. When you are not doing your sadhana, somewhere in your mind, you are saying bad things will happen, and you come back to that reticular activating system.
Uh-huh.
And because you're afraid, the results will be what you expect. But if you
Okay.
do it and say, Ma, these past few days I was not able to do the sadhana, but everything will be fine because you are my Ma and you are in me and I am in you, then nothing will happen. But it takes a lot of time, energy, and understanding to reach that point where you don't see
Absolutely.
yourself as separate from her.
So you said about Sankalpa, right? So it is said that when you are taking this path, I mean, as of now, I have not taken any Sankalpa and
No.
done the sadhana. It's just normal Jaap that I do. But to get on that path, to get serious about, you'll have to take, Sankalpa, and maybe let's say if someone is going on the path of Bhairav sadhana,
Right.
they have to take a Sankalpa maybe for 41 days. They have to chant the mantra and whatever it is. And there cannot be any break in that. Right.
Even before that, Ronik ji, number one is, if you really want fructification of the mantra, which is you want the mantra siddhi, it's best if you get it from a guru. Because if you learn it off the internet, if you read it from a book, there are many things that a guru cannot tell you in a public forum.
Exactly.
Right? So, for example, if I were to be giving the mantra to someone, even a simple basic mantra such as Balatripura Sundari mantra, it's perfectly acceptable to do it. There will be no damage. But when you receive it from a guru who has done maybe 3 lakh counts of that japa, who has done the Purascharana, and who gives you that mantra, the effect is different. The mantra siddhi that you get is far superior. So we start with Diksha, if possible. Because if you don't get it now, even in Bhairav Sadhana, if you don't get it at this point, you progress to the next point without any hindrance. And from there, you proceed to a next level. At least at that point, you need the Guru to give you the initiation. So instead of waiting until then for all your mantra siddhi to happen, why can't you get it at first and start? See, now I appear to be contradicting myself. In my previous podcasts, I always used to say you don't need a guru. But I always used to say there's a caveat. It's not that you never need a guru. You don't need a guru to start off. But if you really want to see the results, at some point, the guru has to come in.
I think that has been one of the most commented thing on all the podcasts that we have done. That if you remember, we did a session where we spoke about the comments. So there
True.
was this question repeatedly there. There's this woman always says that you don't need a guru, but those were the people who have not watched the entire podcast.
True.
They had seen one of the reels or one of the portion of the podcast and quickly jumped onto the conclusion.
Yes.
Okay. So when I was talking about Sankalpa, I
Yes.
really would love from you to hear what exactly is Sankalpa. How does one take Sankalpa?
Okay. So there is a ritual process. Once you have Diksha, you make a Sankalpa, which is to set the intention. The ritual process is very simple and it varies from lineage to lineage. So before people jump on and say, no, this is not the way to do it, in my lineage, how I have learnt it from my guru in the Shri Vidya path is in your left palm. In your left palm. Because as far as I understand and what my guru has told me, the left palm is connected to the right side of your brain, which is where the spot for intuition, creativity, all of that resides. Okay. So in the hollow of your left palm, first take a coin, any coin. It's just a piece of metal that you need to place because metal is a good conductor of energies, right? On top of that, put some akshata. That's rice with a little turmeric. And on top of that, just sprinkle a little salt because salt is Mother Earth. Okay. And you hold it in the palm, in the hollow of your left palm, and you hold your hand like this. And you say whatever Sankalpa you want, either in your mind or audibly or loudly, however you want it. And then you turn it around so that all of this stuff is now in the hollow of your right palm.
Right hand.
Okay. And you have some water ready in a glass. It should either be silver or copper, not plastic or stainless steel. Because stainless steel, again, there's lots of issues with the metal, whatever reason. Okay, so just do something so that water is aromatic. It should become Sugandha Jala. So you can put little elaichi powder, put little camphor, whatever you want to do to that. Now you're holding this like this, and then you offer a tarpana. So pour the water over this so that it passes through this meridian between the ring and middle finger. Okay? It goes down into a utensil where you collect it and you pour that water to a tree. Now the logic, the rational brain will ask why. Water contains memory. It carries the memory. So the intention you are chanting goes into the water and goes into Mother Earth, one of the Panchamahabhutas.
Okay.
The little akshata that you have will be food for some insects. So you've started the Sankalpa with the dana.
Okay.
And when you put the turmeric and the salt, that is reminiscent of Mother Earth. We are giving it back to Prithvi, to Mother Earth. So everything has a meaning and a purpose. So this essentially is the ritual behind the Sankalpa. Now you can either do this physically or you can do it visually. The mind doesn't know the difference. But we do it physically because there is the pouring of the water and it helps because of all the reasons that we just spoke. But it's perfectly okay to just do it in your mind also and just visualize the whole thing.
This process of taking Sankalpa can vary from lineage to lineage and from deity to deity?
From deity to deity, yes. And from lineage to lineage also, yes. But by and large, it's the same because the tarpana that we offer, there are only 3 types of tarpanas. One is to the devatas, which is like this, which we offer with the water flowing downward. One to all the rishis and gurus, which we offer like this. And one to the pitrus, which comes from here. Right? So this is one way of doing Sankalpa. Different people might do it differently. But in effect, this is what is done. That you take it and you turn it over and then you offer.
So one thing that I really wanted to, when I'm doing my mantra japa and all that, I have a habit of, doing it in my, I don't really speak out loud. I don't really chant it out loud because I'm normally doing it early morning or and in the late night. So I really do it mentally, or maybe I'm just mumbling it out. So is there a right way to do a mantra japa?
The perfect way to do a mantra japa is to do it in your mind. That is called the para japa. You can do it loudly, verbally, where you're actually chanting it. okay, which is vachika, which is spoken out. Then you can do upamshu, which is only so that you can hear, just audible to yourself with the lips moving.
Right.
Or you can do it manasika, in your mind, but with complete attention. Because if you're doing it mechanically, thinking that your mind is doing it and your mind is still going all over, then there's no point. So manasika is the heightened version of it. It takes time to practice it. It takes dedication and determination to stick to the manasika japa, because you don't know when your mind will go wandering, and you have to gently go and bring back the mind. Each time it goes wandering, you say, please kindly come back. I'm doing this practice, and bring it back. So any one of the three is acceptable, but the manasika japa is considered the most beneficial.
So, is there any particular way or any proven way to bring your mindfulness back to your mantra japa? Whenever during the meditation or during mantra japa, sometimes the mind does wander out here and there. You hear something, your mind suddenly goes out to that. What is happening, or some thoughts will come to your mind. So, how do you get your thoughts in line again and being mindfulness, be present in the mantra japa?
I would say I employ three methods, which was taught to me by my guru when he was training me in transcendental meditation. And that has helped me in all kinds of mantra japa as well. The first is, when you sit down to meditate, first make yourself aware of all the ambient noises and say a prayer and say thank you for all these ambient noises, because they are showing me that life is going on normally.
Yeah.
So give it a positive spin. So if there's a baby crying, if there's a car honking, it means that you're safe and life is going on normally. Number one. Number two, when you close your eyes and you're chanting, you slowly take your attention to your breath and make sure that every bija aligns with your breath. Because if you do that, then it's highly unlikely that you will lose focus. Because focusing on your breath is the easiest thing to do.
Yes.
You don't need any other support, you don't need any other aid to do that. So align the mantra with your breath. That's point number two. And point number three is, when your mind wanders, you say to your mind, or even before you start, you say to your mind, look, I will let you think all the thoughts that you want to think. Just give me these 10 minutes. Okay. After that, I will allow you to roam the world. But for these 10 minutes, please let me do what I want to do. It's like roping in a small child. The child wants to explore the mall. You want to go into a shop. So what do you promise the child? You say, wait, let me just finish this work, then I'll take you wherever you want. I'll buy you all the ice creams. I'll buy you everything that you want after I finish my work. Use the same technique with your brain and tell your mind that only for these few minutes, let me finish this and then I'll come back to you. And then we can go roam the world. And believe you me, these three tactics really, really work.
There are days, I mean, particularly for me, that what I have, noticed, and I don't know if what's your experience around that, or the people that you deal with on day-to-day basis. So sometimes even 35-40 minutes will feel like 5 minutes, right? That I've been sitting only for 5 minutes because you're so lost, you're so deep into your mantra japa or the meditation. But there would be days when even 10 minutes would feel like, okay, I've been sitting here for 1 hour. Your body, your back, or some part will start to ache. You will have some physical limitations, or your mind will just not let you sit. Does it happen with you or anyone else?
To everyone. Even the most evolved spiritual sadhaka will have days when they don't want to meditate, when the mind rebels. And the best thing to do on those days is to actually just take a break.
Okay.
But you can't be taking a break every 2 or 3 days. If it
Mm-hmm.
happens once in 10 or 15 days, perhaps it's time to just press the refresh button. And what I
Okay.
have generally observed is that when people take a break, even if it's just for a day, the next day they come back with a renewed vigor because they've missed being in that zone.
I
So
start feeling guilty.
yeah,
Like
it's
why?
not just about the guilt. It's like when you're on a diet and you plateau,
Uh-huh.
you just go and overeat so that your metabolism goes up and then you'll see the weight loss happen.
Hmm.
I think
Hmm.
there's something like that at work as well here. The moment you start feeling a bit like, okay, somehow this is not working out, just take a break, distract yourself, maybe listen to
Hmm.
music or just go for a walk. And then the moment you get your mind off that, you will come back with a renewed desire to meditate and for longer and with better results.
My next question would be: are there any certain checklists? When I say checklist, I don't mean to say a checklist, but can we do something maybe few hours earlier? I mean, so I tend to do my mantra japa and meditation early morning and late night. So before I'm going to bed, and once I wake up after freshening up, after taking a shower, I do that. So is there something that we can do? Maybe let's say early morning, your brain is fresh, you are fresh, you have taken a shower, so that you don't find there are not many noises at maybe 6:30 or 7:30. But when I'm sitting at night, right, we had our dinner. Someone is watching TV. Maybe your neighbor is doing something. There are some sort of. How do you physically prepare yourself? We only talk about preparing ourselves mentally for meditation and mantra jap. But my personal feeling is that there is a lot of physical attribute to it as well. How do you prepare yourself physically?
One of the reasons why every mantra japa has to begin with the pranayama
Hmm.
practice, which is what every guru will prescribe. They will say at least do 3 rounds of Anulom Vilom, if nothing else, at least to
Okay.
ensure that you have left and right nostril breathing at the same pace. Now, that in itself is a very good starting point. First of all, deep relaxation. How you get into that is up to you. It's a personal method that each one uses. If you're in deep relaxation, your meditation will be deeper. So you could
Hmm.
use a body scan method. You could use one of these apps which takes you into a self hypnosis method. Many methods, whichever works for you. So the body is deeply relaxed. You see that your shoulders are down, your face is not stressed, your eyebrows,
Hmm.
all of it is calm. And it's almost like you're wearing a smile. Now, this is very important. And apart from that, of course, the no brainer is that your spine has to be erect, which doesn't mean that you have to sit uncomfortably, because that's one thing that I've noticed a lot of people. They feel that this is some kind of punishment. It's not. Make yourself as comfortable as you can. Make sure there are enough pillows propping you up, your back is straight, your back is supported, and all of that. So, the moment you become physically comfortable and you're actually sitting not on your
Hmm.
tailbone, but literally how you're meant to sit accurately, you feel much more comfortable.
Yes.
And that comfort will also translate into a better state of mind for meditation. But I see your point that, especially when you've come back from a tough day, all of it is still
Hmm.
very fresh in your memory. All the more reason why you wind down by meditating. You put some distance between what has happened in the day and
Hmm.
when you proceed into sleep. And it's not for everyone to wake up early morning.
Right.
Sometimes there are practical difficulties, and it's okay to not wake up at 4 every day. And if you can wake up at 7 and still give it 5 or 10 minutes before you get into the humdrum of everyday living, then that is good enough. Because we have to be pragmatic on the path now.
One thing that has really worked for me, I believe, uh, I finish my dinner by 8, max by 8. It's
Right.
more or less 7:30, 7:45. Max by 8, I'm done because I sit for my meditation, for my mantra jap at around maybe 10:30. So by that time, I'm not feeling gassy. I'm not feeling full. So I'm not in a state where that it's only my mind that can limit me. Physically, I don't feel anything, any uncomfort which will
Right.
hinder my practice. So this is one thing that has really helped me.
I totally agree. And this is the reason why, if you lead a sattvic life, the meditation is not just the 15 minutes that you do in the
Yes.
morning or at night. Your entire life has to become meditative. From the moment you wake up till the moment you fall asleep, and in the times when you're meditating, it has to just be one long succession of moments where you're in the zone. This is very difficult for most people unless you become a yogi and go away to the Himalayas. But at least we can start by practicing it by being present when you're eating. Don't look at your phone. Don't listen to anything. Just be focused on what you're doing. If you bring this to every act that you're doing in the day, that in itself becomes a sadhana. When you're cooking, all you're doing is your attention is on the cooking. May all this food that I'm cooking for my family be with love. May Ma give her blessings to the food that I'm cooking. Now, if this is your thought process and you're not thinking, what is the neighbor doing? What is she cooking? It shouldn't be that. You're so in the moment and you're so involved in every action that you are doing in the day. If you're driving, it's only that. So every moment you spend being present also adds up towards sadhana. And see how beautiful your meditation becomes when you actually sit down to do the sadhana itself, to do the mantra japa, because that's only one part of the sadhana. Your life itself is the sadhana.
Typically, my friends, they have started calling me ki, you have become an uncle, you have become, you behave like older, someone who is got very old and something like that. But I fail to make them understand that this particular lifestyle that I have now chosen for the last 1.5 years, right? I don't feel the urge. I don't have any internal urge to get something additional. I don't need any substance to feel that high or feel that happiness. I feel that calmness, happiness through the way that I am leading my life, through my work, through my meditation, uh, through the mantra jap that I do. So these things really keep me high and really keep me happy. I feel my energy levels. So once I'm out of my bed, my energy levels are out there.
Right.
Does lifestyle? So my question is, I'm not saying that become a saint, leave everything. What I'm trying to say, that don't let this substance give you false feeling that you're happy or you're feeling that energy. Let that come from within. Enjoy, party, do whatever you want to.
Exactly. You just do whatever floats your boat at that point of time. Just come back to the fact that this is your core. This is the fundament. This is the basis upon which you are building everything. And for me, I've understood that intuitively. Now I see there are people, when they say to me, I want to travel, I want to see the world, I want to do this, I want to do that, especially where they're uncomfortable wherever they are. It's not their desire to see the world, it's because they are not happy within. And they feel, okay, if I go to the Maldives, I'll be happy. Or if I go to Mauritius, that's my happy place. If you are happy within, you don't want to go anywhere. Because your Maldives and Mauritius is within you.
Yeah.
And for someone who's traveled so much, when I say I do not want to travel, it's not because I've seen it all. It's because I genuinely feel I'm so peaceful here. If I go, even wherever I go, it's the same peace. So why should I go that distance to find the peace? Now, this is something that I've learned of late, to know the difference between people who find peace wherever they are and people who are seeking peace and will not find it wherever they go.
Absolutely.
So, coming to your question of lifestyle, start wherever you're at whatever point. You might be smoking, you might be drinking, you might be, when you're young, all these things happen.
Mm-hmm.
Allow the sattva to come in as your spirituality progresses. At first, you will be eating non-vegetarian food. A time will come when you feel, okay, this is not for me. Slowly, you will
Yeah.
give up the larger animals. Then you say, okay, even chicken is not for me. Fish is not for me. So slowly, things start going off the list.
Mm.
And then you'll come to a point where, okay, I don't want to even drink milk because it's coming, it's from another animal. So these are reflections which you will have. And don't force yourself to do anything out of turn. So if someone
Absolutely.
says to you, don't eat non-vegetarian food, don't give it up because someone is telling you that. Whichever guru tells you that, don't give it up for the guru. Give it up because you genuinely feel the urge to not eat that anymore. That's very important.
I can totally resonate with that, because someone who was a hardcore non-vegetarian, for last 35 years, suddenly giving up non-veg, and it's been so I posted this sarcastically in, I think, May. So 2024 May, I quit non-veg and alcohol completely. So I had put out a story on my Instagram that this is my anniversary of being turning vegetarian and non-alcoholic. So I can understand the fact. So I was at a point that where I would need non-veg in every third meal of mine. So that was the kind of frequency that because without that, I thought that food is not food without non-veg. And today, I am nowhere close to non-veg. I have just completely given that up, and I don't feel the urge. I have not felt it for last 1.5 years. I have not felt it. So these changes are really hard to, I cannot make anyone understand. People still think that I'm forcing myself. And I have said this, I think, multiple times to multiple people. If I would have forced myself, I would have, maybe without telling you or not telling you, I would have consumed it.
True.
But I don't feel like having it. It's just not for me.
But Ronikji, on the spiritual path, one thing is you don't need to prove anything to anyone, least of all what your intentions are. So when people say these things, you say, okay, whatever you say, and then don't take it to heart. Because that's just their lack of awareness. It's just that they are not perhaps as evolved as you are on the path.
No,
Which
it's
doesn't
more
make
like
them less than us. They're also respect them, whatever their opinion is. But this is the reason why we say keep your sadhana a rahasya. Keep it secret, because every time you talk about it, someone will give their opinion. Okay, like someone wrote into me recently saying that I told someone I have Shri Yantra, and they started saying you should do this and you should do milk abhishekam and you should do this. I said that's the point. The whole point in saying please keep it a secret, because the moment you hear this, your mind will be filled with doubts. If you had not said that you have a Shri Yantra, that person wouldn't have proffered that advice.
Right.
So this is why every guru says, try to keep it to yourself. What you're doing on the spiritual path is only between you and your Ishta Devata and the universe. That's it. You don't have to prove a point to anyone. You don't have to show how far you've gone. You don't have to literally put it out there.
There is one thing that I really wanted to know, how does one get deep into meditation? Is there any proven way that, okay, if I do this, then, okay, in the next 5 minutes, I will be in a deep state of meditation?
Unfortunately, there's no way of knowing. There's no way of seeing into the future of our own meditation. But if you look at all the scientific work which has been done, It has been proven that practice makes perfect. So someone who's meditated over 20 years is a better meditator than someone who started yesterday. So important to keep practicing. That is perhaps the only way you're going to get better at it. It's like weightlifting or it's like building your muscle. The only way you can do that is by the consistent work. In the same way, for the mind, meditation is just be consistent, even if it is a 10-minute practice. Make sure that you find the time, the resource to do it. It takes nothing. You don't need any external aids. All you need is just to close your eyes, shut out all the sensory perception, and go within. 99.9% of the time, you're only you're focusing on what's going on around you, whether it's the news that you watch, cricket that you watch, the phones constantly scrolling. Everything is coming from outside. The food that you eat, your interactions with people. Where is the time for you to allow the energy the other way around, where it's not coming from the outside, where it's coming from within? Because that is the most precious. And we're missing out on that when we don't do our internal work, the internal sadhana. That could be by meditation, mindfulness, mantra japa, anything, even just looking at a yantra. It all adds up to that same internal work.
Most of the people want to start meditation, but they somewhere are afraid to go on that path because it has been, spoken out in such a way that, okay, you will, that you will see a white light. So it has been, how do I put it? It has been it has been put out there in such a way that you see it as a, beast. You don't see it as a very small thing and try to make it part of your daily routine, rather than it has been made, people have put it in a way that meditation is something which is very, very big. It's very important. You have to do this. And if you're meditating, if you're not seeing that white light, if you're not, in a state where everything is blocked out, then it's not meditation. I would like you to help me bust this myth and simplify meditation for everyone. That how does one very simply, make it part of their daily life? Like you do anything, like you go to the gym, maybe you spend 1 hour in the gym.
Not even as difficult as going to the gym. Meditation is much simpler than that. And if you complicate it, it's not meditation.
Exactly.
It just has to, and there is no concentration involved. This is another big myth that people say, oh, I can't concentrate. Nobody is asking you to concentrate. Meditation is the opposite of concentration. It's just that you are completely aware of the present moment and the thought that is coming to you. So for this, in my understanding and in my experience, the transcendental method of meditation is the best. Because there it's just about one bija, any one bija of your choice, and your attention goes on the bija for a period of time which you determine. And there are no distractions. There is no count that you have to do. There's nothing whatsoever. It's just you and the bija and attention on that bija. Now, the simplest way to start is that you decide on a bija, right? Whichever bija you want. Let us just say it's Om to begin with. Important is your back is straight, your eyes are closed, your body is relaxed, especially your upper body, your face is relaxed, your shoulders are down. And you close your eyes and you see the Om in whichever language you want as it is being written. Now you take your attention to that visual in your mind's eye of the Om. And then you align it with your breath in such a way that for every inhale and exhale, you see the Om being formed, and then it goes away. And then the Om is formed and it goes away, and so on. So now a time will come when maybe you form 10 Oms, it goes away, and then a thought comes, oh, what's for dinner, or what can I have for dessert? And very gently, it's not a harsh movement in your own mind. You very gently say, wait a minute, that can happen after 5 minutes, but for now, I bring my attention back to Om. So think of it as just pushing away a cloud. Very gently. There is no harshness, there is no violence involved in this. Very gently push that thought and bring your attention back to that same Om in your mind's eye, just carving it out or drawing it or seeing it as a light or anything that you want to do. Start by doing this for 5 minutes to begin with, and then slowly increase, maybe 6 minutes, 7 minutes, 8 minutes every day, just by 1 minute. And try to keep your attention for that entire period of time while also focusing on your breath. Because now the writing in your mind is attached to the breath. So then everything gets connected. Your mind and body get connected. This, as far as I know, is the easiest method. But say, for example, you're chanting the Lalita Sahasranama. Then you can't visualize the writing. But in that instance, you visualize Ma in the form of Lalita. In her Rupa as Lalita Tripura Sundari. Or if you're doing Uchishta Ganapati, then you visualize Uchishta Ganapati or Lord Shiva or whoever it is, Ma Varahi. So it's just that then you take the attention to that form, that manifestation, that Saguna form. Whatever, see, things, it keeps changing. For me, earlier, it would always be Ma Lalita. Now, Ma Varahi has permeated my consciousness. I can't think beyond Ma Varahi. Everything is about Ma Varahi at the moment. And that might get replaced by some other Ishta Devata at some point of time. But I don't feel any guilt because they're all the same. Nirguna form is the same. These are all the Saguna forms of that same one Nirguna Brahman. So there has to be no guilt about that. Some people say, I feel guilty that I didn't do my Hanuman Chalisa, that I did some other Durga chant. You don't need to feel guilty. Ultimately, you're still connecting with that same divinity.
So, Vinita ji, again coming back to me, right? I would like to end this podcast with you. I would like to ask you that what should be my path now, right? When I say path, I'm not talking about the path that I should take spiritually. I mean to say, how do I proceed in life, right? How do I take every day? How do I proceed about my work, the podcast that I do? What should be my path? How should I focus?
At your age, Ronik ji, I would say your work has to be your worship.
Right.
It is imperative that in the years where you have to do the hard work, you just focus entirely on that. Maybe 10-15 minutes of spirituality is wonderful because it supplements your work.
Yeah.
But the work that you do has to be priority number one. Because I have seen in the course of guiding people, in the course of all the sessions that I do, that many people, they acquire success very early in life and they feel, okay, this is not for me, let me go into the spiritual path. So they give up everything. So say you're senior vice president at 35 and you say, okay, this is not doing anything for me, I'm going to go away. You go away to an ashram, thinking that the answers lie there. And after 3 or 4 years, you realize that the answer doesn't lie in the ashram either. At least in your work, you were getting some validation, you were getting paid for it, you could pay the bills. You could lead a comfortable life. Now, in the ashram, you've lost all of that and you've lost the best 4 years of your work life. There's no looking back. And you are the most disenchanted, disappointed, frustrated person on the planet. But who did that to you? You did it to yourself because you thought that spirituality held all the answers. Spirituality does not hold any answers. It will help you in your path, and when you have to give it up, that will come at a separate time. But for all young people, this is my advice. Focus on leading your life, on following your dharma. Take care of your family, perform all your responsibilities towards your parents, towards your in-laws, towards your spouses, children, all of that. These are very, very important things, because if you don't do this right, if you don't provide for them, if you don't really take the responsibility, then no spiritual path will help you. First, responsibilities have to be fulfilled. Do your work well. Try to be successful at whatever you're doing. And spirituality will come. When it has to come, it will come. And don't think the answers lie in spirituality. Very rarely, it's only for a very small percentage of people that the answers lie in the spiritual world. And even for those people, I have seen that it's largely, they lead sad, disappointed lives because they've given up what they didn't really know. They didn't know the value of what they had. So I would say find that balance. So in the day, you work, you do your prayers, you do your meditation, but your focus has to, if you had to choose on one day between your prayer and your work, I would say choose your work. Because the prayer can wait, the work can't.
Thank you so much.
Because that might be the day that your boss decides to say, okay, let me appraise this guy on what he's done today. But spirituality is not going to appraise you by what you do or don't do on one day.
Vinita ji, again, before I let you go, I would really like you to, let us know how has been the journey with the iRonik show for you. We have done 4 episodes now, and just a couple of words for our audience.
What can I say? It's been a genuine pleasure interacting with you every single time, Ronik ji.
Same, man.
Always some learning happens, and it's true for every individual we speak to. I feel I learn much more than what they learn from me. So even from you, I would say the same, and I would really bow down to your audiences in thanks for accepting us, accepting our conversations, resonating with the things that we have said, disagreeing with us. It's perfectly fine. There is room for all opinions and all judgments here. And we are happy that people are engaging with us. And I only hope and pray that you stay on the spiritual path long enough to make a difference to many, many, many more youngsters like yourself who are trying to make their steps up the corporate ladder and also trying to keep one foot in the spiritual boat. So you should carry that torch forward.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And thank you for being part of this amazing journey. And so 4 episodes, and we look forward to maybe 400 more with you.
And
so, heartiest
congratulations once again. 100